The story of the widow and her jar of oil in 2 Kings 4 has become a well-known example of biblical faith. The story is so simple that anyone can understand it. Yet, not everyone chooses to take its message to heart. The poor woman in this story is representative of many who have trusted God with their resources but then find their supply running low before they expected. When she runs out of oil, she doesn't think, "Oh no. What am I going to do?" Instead, she thinks, "Where can I get more oil?" She trusts God for new supply when her own ran out. She looks to Him for solutions instead of focusing on the problems. This isn't just a great Bible story, it also reveals a lesson about trusting God even when we run out of what we need. Let's look at how we can trust God like the widow trusted Him. Trust God when you run out of oil. There will be times in life when you will run out of oil, when you run out of your own strength, wisdom, and ability to cope with life's problems. These are the times when you need to trust God more than ever. God wants you to come to Him with your needs, and He wants you to rest in His ability to meet those needs. Even if you're trying to make it through life on your own strength, when you find yourself out of strength, you need to look to God to meet those needs. You don't have to try to figure everything out on your own. You don't have to try to patch things up with your own wisdom and abilities. You can trust God when you run out of oil. Ask for a miracle. The woman runs to Elisha and asks for a miracle. She knows that she is going through a difficult time, but she also has faith that God will provide for her in the midst of her difficulty. This woman doesn't just sit around and complain about how bad things have gotten. She doesn't focus on how terrible it is that she has run out of oil. She doesn't worry about how she is going to get more. She simply turns to God and asks for a miracle. She asks God to meet her need in the way that He sees best. She trusts God when she runs out of oil. Be thankful for what you have. When the woman runs out of oil, she doesn't focus on how terrible her situation is, she focuses on what a blessing her oil has been to her. She is thankful for every drop of oil that she has been given. She doesn't focus on what she does not have, but she focuses on what she does have. When we are thankful for what we have, it is much easier to trust God for what we need. We are thankful to God for what we have, and we expect Him to meet our needs. We know that He will supply what we need when we need it. We don't condemn God when we run out of oil. We simply ask Him to bless what we have. We ask Him to make what we have meet our needs. We trust God when we run out of oil. Believe that God will supply your need. The woman in this story has seen God meet her needs before. She believes that He will do so again. She knows that God is faithful and that He will supply the oil that she needs. Yet, she doesn't sit around and wait for the oil to appear. She knows that God will meet her need, but she also knows that she must take action to ensure that God's provision comes through. She must do her part. She must act to meet her need. Elisha said, "Go around and ask all your neighbors for empty jars. Don't ask for just a few." She goes and asks her neighbors for all their empty jars, believing in faith that God will fill them. Be ready to act on the answer you receive. The woman in this story doesn't just run to Elisha and say, "Please, Lord, give me some more oil." She doesn't just hope for an answer. She is ready to act on the answer that she receives. She has a jar ready to be filled with oil. She is prepared to receive new oil and put it to use. When God answers your prayer, you must be ready to act on that answer. When God supplies your need, you must be ready to receive that new supply and put it to use. You must be ready to receive God's blessings and put them to work. When you trust God when you run out of oil, you are ready to act on the answer you receive. In conclusion, the story of the widow and her jar of oil in 2 Kings 4 has become a well-known example of biblical faith. The story is so simple that anyone can understand it. The poor woman in this story is representative of many who have trusted God with their resources but then find their supply running low and in need. When she runs out of oil, she doesn't think, "Oh no. What am I going to do?" Instead, she thinks, "Where can I get more oil?" She trusts God for new supply when her own ran out. She looks to Him for solutions instead of focusing on the problems. She takes action on what is asked of her. This isn't just a great Bible story, it also reveals a lesson about trusting God even when we run out of what we need.